Greetings Kimisitu members. My name is Isaiah Ndigi, a staff of Kimisitu Sacco from Finance Department. We are here at ICRAF to get to know more about Kimisitu Sacco from the founder members. As you all know, this is where Kimisitu started, and we want to get to talk to those old members, or let's say those members who joined early enough, or who started the idea of Kimisitu Sacco, so we can get to know how did we start, because this is where our story begins.
My name is Pauline Mohamed. I work here at ICRAF over the last almost over 20 years. I work with one of the hosted institutions here at ICRAF, where I am a senior manager for leadership and training. I focus on capacity building for scientists. Yes, I'm a Kimisitu member, and I'm proudly a member. I've been a member again for over 20 years. I joined Kimisitu when I came here in ICRAF, where I was introduced to Kimisitu by one of the main founding members, Kennedy Auka. Some of you may remember him, and I recall it was during, I was very new. I think I was still on probation, and when we were having lunch, he shared with me about Kimisitu, and that's where I got the interest. And I really appreciate Kennedy Auka as one of the people who helped me to start the journey of saving. I have so much respect for him.
Being one of the founder members of Kimisitu, I believe I'm calling you founder member because you are a member number below 1,000. We are now at almost 20,000. So how has your journey been in Kimisitu over the years?
Okay, yeah, my journey in Kimisitu has been, I can say, exciting, a lot of learning, a lot of growth. When I think about myself, where I started as an administrative assistant, where, of course, at that level, you know, the kind of income that you get is not so much. Yeah. And I found that this is where Kimisitu really came in to help. And also with the education that we were getting from Kimisitu, the AGMs, interacting with senior members, people who have more experience and have been in the workplace for much longer, I have really learned a lot from a financial perspective, and also just creating networks. So my journey in Kimisitu from a financial perspective, I've benefited a lot from Kimisitu. You know, even from the start, Kimisitu had very many different products. When I think about times of need, when, you know, maybe you need money quickly, there was an emergency loan, which I benefited a lot from. When you think emergency, you need it now. And Kimisitu, at that time, whenever I applied for an emergency loan, I would get it according to what they've said. I think it used to be like in a day or two, and I'd get the money. Very efficient, on time, and also very responsive. I've also benefited from Kimisitu over the years, where I have developed a lot. I've taken development loans where I have built. I have topped up and taken mortgages from the bank, for example, and Kimisitu has come in to help me to pay off. So I can say, when I look back, I am where I am mainly because of Kimisitu when it comes to financial support. Okay. I've also been able to invest. You know, the interest from Kimisitu, you know, is lower, low when you think about it. So I've been able to take loans where I've put this money as an investment, not only development but investment, and I really appreciate what I have, the way I have benefited from Kimisitu.
Okay. So yeah. In short, what you are saying is, you see, if we go by our slogan, we are a partner to prosperity. So in other words, you are saying we've really been a partner to prosperity.
Oh yes, I'm a living example of that partnering. And I cannot say maybe I've reached the end, you know, of really having it all, but I am in the right direction because of Kimisitu.
On the other hand, what has been your motivation for staying in the Sacco for all that long?
Okay, yeah, indeed it's been very many years, and I've been in Kimisitu and I plan to continue as long as I can. One of the motivations of being in Kimisitu, which I also use to tell people about Kimisitu, is I really appreciate the kind of leadership we have. In Kimisitu, I have found that the leadership is transparent.
Sure.
Yeah, there's transparency, there's accountability, there's you find that even the leaders are accessible. Yeah, I've not been in many other SACCOs, but most of the time when I hear about other SACCOs, you know, like it's really difficult to apply for a loan. It's like you have to know so and so to fast track your loan. So I really like the way Kimisitu's leadership is. The transparency, accountability, and just a focus on customer care, customer needs, you know. I have, and never I've approached Kimisitu, I always feel that they don't just see me as, you know, member number so and so, but as a human being, as a person who needs support, and in line with that tagline. I really appreciate that. And so whenever I am in need, I'm always very comfortable and confident when I approach Kimisitu. Also giving us ideas on, you know, how you can do this, what you need to, maybe you have more than 2 loans, you can put it together, you know, helping us to have it. Kimisitu is also solution oriented. Another motivation certainly is because with time I've seen Kimisitu is always looking at having products that are serving the needs of the members. So whenever I go to the website, I'm like, oh my goodness, another one. And of course, you always send us messages. So you're very much in touch with your members. Yeah, I like the product, variation, diversity, the leadership, just also being a person who is seen, who is noticed. I'm not just part of the many people. You said like now we are over 20,000, eh? Yes. It doesn't feel like that, like we are a huge mass of people. Last time Kimisitu was here at ICRAF, yeah. I took the people, the new youngsters in my office to join, and I remember actually one got very busy and joined the membership. So I'm always proposing, including even, we call them private, people who are not employed. Yeah, so anytime I have an opportunity, especially when I meet young people, I'm always asking, how are you with finances? When are we enjoying your first salary? And I go into, now you need to start thinking about saving. And the first word that comes to my mind is Kimisitu, and then the other investment companies.
I know you may not be a finance person or expert, but in our country currently we have a very bad savings culture. Mm-hmm. If I can recall a study that I read, like a report of 5 years ago, only 12% of our GDP consisted of savings. And that tells that there is a very bad culture of savings in our country. This has been an issue. What do you say about the savings culture in our country, and what can you advise the young men? Because I believe they are the majority in the country right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it's true. The younger generation, the population is much more than the other population. So yeah, I think it's true. We have challenges in saving. The culture of saving, I may not say even not only for young people, even the older ones, because the way we were brought up is the relationship with money. We were not taught how to relate with money in a way to save. We see money as something that we need to use for now and carry on. And I think it may be worse with the younger generation, whom, according to my observation, is they live for now. It's now. I enjoy and carry on. The way we older generation were taught a little bit is you need to work for tomorrow, live for tomorrow, you know. So we are saving, we're running up and down. I have to have a house by this time. and so on. I don't see so much of that with the younger generation. Think about that we can do is now, this is where organizations like Kimisitu come in to have a plan to continuously educate younger people and even the older people on the importance of saving. We have situations where people are retiring, and when they retire because they didn't save, again they become a burden. So Kimisitu could help the younger people to not only look for now, but see why it's important to also save for the future. Enjoy for now indeed, but save for tomorrow, because you never know about tomorrow. The younger generation also is, I think, having the challenge of celebrity. This showbiz, we're just seeing celebrities up there looking good, living a good life, taking very good pictures. So who are we? The younger people are looking up to them and say, I want that kind of a life. But they really don't know what that life, what it means. And you're finding a lot of people are going into debt. And who is there? There are some financial institutions that are very ready. You don't look for them, they come knocking on your door and say, we have this, we'll give you this in 24 hours. So why can't I have that very good TV? Why can't I have that very good seat? Why can't I go on holiday? Not with my money, but borrowed money. Yeah, and tomorrow you find you're just living from hand to mouth. It's not necessary. I am thinking people like Kimisitu can come and educate these young people to see the need for saving for tomorrow. Yeah, I think that culture is a dire situation that we need to face and do something about. And again, I'm just going to repeat and say, I think this is where Kimisitu can come in. Because when I remember, I talked about Kennedy Auka, he really helped me to see life differently and see the need to save. If it was not for him to speak to me, I think I may be in a different situation. So that as an example, you need to expound and bring the volume up for that, for the younger generation now. We should always be seeking to become better, because the way it is right now, the world is changing very fast. The needs of people are changing very fast. We've talked about generations, where my generation's financial needs may not be the same as the younger generation. So I think Kimisitu needs to continuously be, reflecting on what are the needs of this generation that we are talking about. They want to live for now, and how then what products can we make for them? Yeah, in a way that supports their future. It's not to now attend to their needs of for now, but how can we support them? Kimisitu is also growing very fast. Very fast, and when it comes to that, I know it's no longer ICRAF only, but it's different organizations which have different cultures. So leadership can also start varying. We have been very strong. We have had a good, strong leadership, and as the organization grows, it will be important to again to pay attention to the kind of leadership that we get. When I say this, I don't have a solution per se, but maybe look more into who are those people who want to be leaders, and not only hear their campaigns. They normally are very good, but what are the recommendations? What is being said about them? What is their past record? Not what they say, but find out how it is, because if with that diversity, the organization is growing and growing and growing. If there's a small crack with the leadership, that can really impact the wonderful efforts that we've had from the start. So I think for me, it's just to pay attention to that. And then using technology, I think we've had good AGMs through using technology. I think that's an area that maybe also can be enhanced, because I remember there's a time when we were not all able to vote at one point. We were very sad, but in as much as now we are back to working hybrid, mostly back to work, how can Kimisitu enhance the use of technology with its meetings and so on? Yeah, so I don't have much critique. I've really had a good experience, but indeed there's always room for improvement, and continuously getting feedback from the different people. That's important. Right. Not only at the end of the year, but somewhere, yeah. And I like the way you guys come to work. You come to ICRAF, you go to different organizations to meet people.